Hi, I'm Alex Cherne,
Hi, I'm Ben Dyke. We're in Mrs. Zaborski's English 11 A2 class.
and this is our Cry the Beloved project. So, we want to introduce the book first. So, Cry the Beloved Country is a novel about a black pastor in the Zulu city of Ndasheni in South Africa, and it will explain the hardships and trials of him and his family, and it will incorporate a white family through the end will come together and help try to stop racism as they realize that it is wrong.
So the main character is Reverend Stephen Kumalo, and he receives a letter in the beginning of the book from a pastor in Johannesburg, South Africa, saying that he needs to come to Johannesburg because his sister is sick. So Stephen, being the good person that he is, he takes up on the expensive and dangerous journey to Johannesburg from his little village. And also, while he's on this trip, he wants to encounter with his son, Absalom.
So as Stephen finishes his journey in Johannesburg, he tries to go find his son Absalom, but reads in the newspaper that his son has killed Arthur Jarvis, a crusader for racial justice. And he tries to go find him, and his worst suspicions are confirmed as he is taken into custody. And his son, he also learns that his son has gotten a girl pregnant and has spent time in a reformatory.
So as we continue, the late Arthur Jarvis's son James is back in the Dotsheni, in that's Kumalo's old hometown. As they both go back, they meet up and they're both trying to help the village. They both realize that the village is starting to take a turn for the worst as like the land becomes more scarce, it's harder to farm, and it's just they're lacking vital necessities. And Jarvis has done. He's like donated milk. He's done a lot of things to help the tribe and the village, but it's just not seem to be working.
So the book ends with Absalom being executed for killing Arthur Jarvis, and at the end of the book, Stephen Kamalo is filled with despair as he watches him, his son, his whole family, pretty much to him, and his city go down in a tumbling world.
So in the book, we see a lot of racism, and this racism is mainly through white people and black people. This is stuff we've seen in our hometown of Charlotte and like in the United States for as long as we can remember. And this has happened in South Africa for forever, except their segregation laws. They did not end until very recently with the ending of apartheid with Nelson Mandela. And for us, like this, our segregation laws ended in 1960s with Martin Luther King Jr. leading the charge. And even though those laws have ended, we still see a lot of racism today in the United States, and it's just a bad thing that we want to stop. We don't want to keep seeing all this racism as it spreads a negative influence on everyone here.
So we see this in the book as James Jarvis, he goes through Johannesburg and he sees racial tension and all his people that are colored, not are just black people, but other people as well, being divided, and they don't have the same rights as the other people. And he sees the depression that his own people go through in his own home city. So our second connection is between the books Cry the Beloved Country and Kill a Mockingbird. So in the book Cry the Beloved Country, Arthur Jarvis tries to ultimately help the black people in Endot Shendi and bring them peace and have them not suffer. And the same is in To Kill a Mockingbird, but it's not to that extent. Um, when Tom Robinson's jury spent actually an amount of time conversing instead of just immediately coming through after the trial and saying that it was guilty, shows that it's a small victory and that it's a small sign that people are changing their attitudes towards black people. So our last connection, third one, is going to be we're going to integrate the Bible. Yes, that's right, integrate the Bible with Stephen Kamalo. So in the Bible, Saint Stephen was the first martyr for being stoned for being a Christian, and we think that connects with Stephen Kamalo as he is a martyr for his people, as they suffer and he suffers with them.